Hey guys, Tofsky here. Welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles X. Now hopefully this time we actually get some action, so let's just get started. I believe where we left off last time is we have to go back to the barracks, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So let's sign up for Blade so that we can actually progress the story. Once again, I'm recording this in the same time period I've recorded the other two episodes, so I don't know what any of your comments were, but if you want me not to join Blade, I kind of have to, so sorry about that.
Honey, we're home.
Yes, very amusing.
I thought it was funny.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for Blade duty with a training assignment. What in the hell are we waiting for? As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for Blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Hey, it's not me you need to convince. Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course, and I would never force or coerce anyone. Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part? I knew you'd make the right choice. Welcome to the organization. Elma, she can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
Man, if only joining things or legal business was as easy as nodding.
Now then, let's discuss that training assignment.
Instead of paperwork.
We've decided to start you out on a probe installation, just to get your feet wet.
I guess we should back up a bit. Here in New LA, we're using a specialized computer system called Frontier Nav to help us deploy a sensor grid across Mira. A network of data probes that allows us to monitor conditions and collect all kinds of information about the planet.
Expanding that grid and filling in the blind spots is one of Blade's highest priorities. Here, take a look at this. What you're seeing on screen is a terrain map that includes New LA and the surrounding landmass. As you can see, we've divided the area into a series of hexagonal blocks. We call these blocks segments. Together, they form our grid. We determined this was the most efficient pattern, given the limited range of our probes. Based on it, we know exactly where we need the probes to go. Now we just have to install them.
The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. The Frontier Nav probes can also detect the general locations of living things in the vicinity, which comes in handy if we need to track down a Blade or another citizen.
Yes, quite handy indeed. So for this first exercise, you'll be heading here, to that white segment. Go there, install the data probe, and then come back home.
Got it. East of the city.
In that case, we can take the East Gate out of the administrative district, right? We should be there in no time.
I'll leave the details on the data probe installation procedure to you, Elma.
Of course, Mr. Secretary. All right, you two, shall we?
Yeah! Training or not, let's go install the hell out of that probe!
Okay, now this is going to be a rather simple mission. I'm not sure if I can show you at all, but maybe? Probably not. No, I can't. But on my gamepad, it basically gives me the whole map. Unfortunately, it doesn't really help you guys, but you can actually see where you're going on the gamepad. I'll see if I can come across a picture of what it would look like, just to give you an idea. So I'm gonna actually follow the gamepad probably for a lot of this. You can actually see where probes go, where probes are. Not all missions. Not all probes require a mission. But you basically would just want to expand it as much as possible. You can get perks for it.
Man, am I glad we pulled an assignment to the east of the city this time. It'd be a long walk all the way back over to the west gate.
Hold on. Are we even sure the East Gate will be open? Last I heard, it was still on lockdown from all the high-level indigent activity.
It was, but they just lowered the threat level earlier today. The gates are officially open for business. One of our teams must have gone out there and kicked some furry indigent butt, huh?
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Irina's team is one of our best.
How does she know Irina and Gwyn?
We ran into them just before we met up with you. They were on their way out to an assignment.
Well, then that settles it. It must have been them, right? Man, forget this amateur hour probe baloney. Those guys are where the action's at.
I'll try not to take that personally. But enough talk. We've got our mission to deal with. Let's head out.
Roger. That probe isn't gonna install itself. Let's get to the East Gate, shall we?
I like how it's raining inside the barracks. Inside NLA here. Through a roof. Anyway, you can kind of see the rain. I'm kind of entertained by that. But
Hey.
I guess one of the things I was trying to mention is that the probes have a lot of power to them. It's not very evident at first when you start it. However, you may have noticed when I started the mission. Where's my inventory? Just give me a sec. When I first started the mission, I ended up getting something called data probes right here. What? Oh, I get data probes for completing it. So you get these different probes, and you can basically put them in to the different probes that you install in the ground for certain costs. So some generate very specific resources. There's a resource called... It is not shown. Uranium at the top right above... Sorry, it's in the bottom right. Top right of the bottom right. It's called Uranium, right above reward tickets. Anyway, that resource is only available via probes. Basically, you just have to tell it to mine it. You can also get credits from it as well, but... Or sorry, Millennium I think is research, and the other one's mining. Anyway, probes basically have a beam of light coming out of them. They're pretty easy to find.
What the hell happened here? You don't think that one Sinicula could have killed all these simius?
Unless...
Unless... what?
This is bad.
What's bad? I don't follow you.
That Sinicula. It's a tyrant.
Huh? But it looks just like any other Sinicula.
Think about it. Your typical simius is way higher up on the food chain than your typical Sinicula, right? Usually we'd find one simius standing over 3 or 4 Sinicula corpses. But here, the tables have been turned. And I don't see a single trace of any other indigents in the area. There's only one explanation. That Sinicula is a tyrant.
Let me check the Blade Report database. If there's a tyrant this close to the city, someone must have run across it. Bingo. There was a Senicula tyrant sighted not too long ago, but it was a couple of segments further out.
It could have followed the blade that spotted it back towards New LA, or come here to feed, or who knows what.
That's crazy. I can't believe there's a tyrant right on our doorstep and HQ isn't doing a thing about it.
Well, don't forget why they sent us here in the first place. Frontier Nav's range is still limited.
Oh, right. They couldn't track it if there's no local probe. They must have lost it when it went off the grid.
I want to kill it.
Whoa there, rookie. We're talking about a tyrant here. Do you even understand what that means?
We should probably explain. Tyrant is our term for any indigenous life form that falls outside of our usual threat ranking system. In other words, they're too powerful for us to even measure how dangerous they would be to take on.
And too powerful doesn't always just mean physically strong. If a creature has even a single especially nasty trait, it's classified as a tyrant.
Even some of Blade's very best teams have come back with serious injuries after running into a tyrant in the field. If they come back at all.
The difference is I have saves and I can load back. Other characters not so lucky because they're not player controlled.
As long as you understand the risks involved. Lynn?
Count me in. The same goes for everyone in New LA, but if we're gonna settle here on this planet, we're gonna have to get used to dealing with tyrants now and then. Besides, if I need to, I can always run away while it's busy chewing on one of you guys.
Fair enough. But don't push it, okay? Either of you. If we can take it down, great, but if not, even just luring it away would be a moral victory. As long as we buy enough time to install the probe, we can use Frontier Nav to track it, or any other tyrant that comes this close to the city from now on. Just make sure you're ready before we attack. This'll be tougher than anything else we've faced.
So basically oh, I guess I've unlocked gear and arts. Let's just quickly take a look at that. So I can start upgrading arts, I believe, now? Yeah. I can start upgrading. I'm not going to upgrade any of these right now. There's better ways to do things later on. But anyway, tyrants are basically the equivalent of like elites or whatnot in other games, so we'll just make our way here.
They've seen us.
They also have they're basically also named enemies, and they got their own battle music. Just so you can easily identify that they're a tyrant. Now this attacks with bonus damage from the side, so I'm going to want to attack from the side. And you can see I got a crit from it.
Move in and strike.
Now luckily, I am not going to pull the aggro. I believe,
Upper hand.
I'm getting
or not, I'm actually taking a lot more damage than I should be. But it's not actually that hard of a fight. But, I think... No, I'm actually taking the damage. Or taking damage. It's actually facing the other way, so I would almost guess that whoever's pulling aggro is... It looks like Elma. Which is fine with me. And it looks like we're not going to have too much of a problem. Unfortunately, I can't activate any abilities, but you'll see... Oh, I pulled the aggro. That's not good. You'll see that on the left side, you'll see I have 355 health, but there's another gauge there with 3,000. I forget exactly what it's called, but that's basically the gauge that I would drain from if I were to try to use like a special or something. I don't have any right now, so I can't really do anything with that. But that's fine. And he's dead.
We are awesome!
Nice work, Lynn. You fought well. You did too. Now let's get down to business and install that data probe. If we stay here for long, there's no telling what other playmates might show up. This beam of light indicates a frontier nav site. It marks the ideal spot to bury the probe.
Okay, the probe should be ready for insertion. I'll just boot it up.
Thanks, Lynn. The top half of the cylinder contains the probe itself. The bottom half is a laser. It dissolves the soil so the probe can burrow to the proper depth. We tried just planting them on the surface at first, but we kept running into problems with the local wildlife damaging the goods. Burying them is going to save us all a lot of time and headaches in the long run. We all set?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever you're ready.
Why don't you do the honors? You can launch it right from your comm device. Give it a try.
I don't remember being given one of those.
Good. Now we just need to give it a minute to reach the target depth.
I'm also not sure what the
Installation
target
complete.
depth is, because there are
Now
places
online
where you're on
with solid
cliffs and
connection
stuff
to
where you put
Frontier
some.
Nav.
So it makes you
Excellent.
wonder.
See, at the end of the day, there's really not much to it. The hardest part was calculating the ideal probe locations. We need them spread out evenly to maximize data collection.
Yep, planting probes is easy. And the more we plant, the more likely we are to find missing crew. So anytime you see a probe site, there's no excuse not to plant that sucker.
That'll do it for your training. Let's head back to the barracks and report to Secretary Nagi.
So that's not 100% true, but there's no excuse.
My cookie got better.
There are places, basically all probe sites, except for this one, basically have a certain level to them. So you can only go to certain, put certain probe levels in based off your mechanical level. Since I'm level 1, I can only do level 1 probes. So you can see I've also got Uranium, so if I actually, on my Wii U pad here, how do I do this again? I believe I have to go into... I guess I have to complete the quest and get my probes first, so let's quickly do that.
They've seen us.
Oh, I don't want to fight you. In fact, I'm going the wrong way. I need to go down and around, I believe, if I recall. Okay, I should have... yeah, okay, I did outrun them. And I am level 4 on my my rank. So where you see rank, that's something that... It's basically my class rank. Once I get to level 10, I can progress to the next class, so... I don't really want to level up skills until I start getting some skills I'm actually going to care about. There's some really powerful combinations that I can build later on, but I'm probably going to do that way later. I'm just going to play most of the game using a very simple combination that I'm used to. So, if you do have any combinations that you're curious of or you want me to check out, let me know. And here we are, Blade Barracks. Let's complete this chapter. Actually, I think I might have one more part. I don't remember. But let's just complete this. Secretary Nagi's up here, I believe.
Commander Vandam.
Well, now, look what the cat dragged in.
Sorry we missed you last time. We could have come to meet you at HQ, you know.
Indeed. I suggested as much. Twice.
And we know how much I enjoy being told what to do. Anyway, I hear you tangled with a tyrant, way out of your league, on a training mission, no less. That was reckless, and goddamn magnificent.
And there we go. Chapter 2 complete. It's fun to kill things. In video games, at least. Besides, tyrant battles can involve a lot more skill than typical battles, so
So, Commander,
you'll see that later on.
to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit here today?
Well, I can't just ask Nagi to do everything for me. I'd be out of a job.
Hey, I delivered you the new recruit, didn't I?
Yeah, you won the bet. Don't worry about it, all right? I'll settle up with you later. You know I'm good for it.
The bet?
I'm sure I'm needed elsewhere. If you'll all excuse me, Commander.
Convenient time to escape.
Well, that wasn't obvious at all.
Look at you two. I swear, you're like two children excited about a new toy.
Look who's talking. I don't recall ever seeing you file a request to personally train a rescue before.
Is that so odd?
It is before we'd even asked her to become a blade, little Miss Stick in the Rear.
Usually I ask when I don't get your slang expressions, but something tells me to just let that one go.
Enough about that. Where are your manners, anyway? I still haven't been introduced to our new recruit here.
Commander Vandam is Blade's top officer.
In a past life, I was chief engineer on the White Whale. Same idea, basically. Someone has a problem, I fix it. You follow? Huh. Not much for conversation, are you?
So you still haven't told us why you're here. From the look of things, I'm guessing this isn't a social call.
You don't think?
No. So let's cut the crap and get down to business.
Ha! Sounds like you're learning my expressions just fine, Elma. Anyway, first we need Chatty Cathy here to choose a division and pull an assignment.
So, you saw one of the divisions. It was the Interceptors, I believe, from Gwen and Irina, but we'll get some more details right now.
Pretty much everyone in New LA works for Blade, in one of several different fields. Helping to explore Mira, or to maintain order in the city, or, well, you remember Nagi's speech, right? There are 8 different fields in all, and each one has its own branch within Blade. Officially, they're called divisions. Naturally, you'll want to choose one that best suits your personality and your talents.
Let's start with the Pathfinders. Pathfinder's #1 responsibility is planting data probes, like you did on your training mission. It may not be the sexiest job, but important? You bet your ass it's important. We've only been on Mira 2 months. We don't know jack about this place. The more probes we install, the faster we can get our bearings here and give ourselves a fighting chance.
We've already detailed how important it is we expand the Frontier Nav network ASAP. So, for the time being, I'll just remind you of the highlights. It helps us keep Blade safe. It helps us keep the city safe. And most important of all, it's the key to locating the missing parts of the Lifehold and recovering the rest of the human race.
Okay, next up, Interceptors. You met Akalov and Evans, right? Irina and Gwen, this is their division. Interceptors have one main duty: protect New LA and everyone in it from the wildlife here on Mira. Right now, this is probably our busiest division. Interceptors ride shotgun for the research eggheads, they escort VIPs around, and they help any other idiots who get caught out there with their pants down.
Next are the Harriers. Remember Doug Barrett, the Skell pilot conducting the test flight with Lynn? He's part of the Harriers. If you think of the Interceptors as defense, Harriers would be New LA's offense. They specialize in preemptive strikes on clear and obvious threats. But only on clear and obvious threats. They're not meant to go out and just blast any indigen that moves.
And you got your Reclaimers. These guys are in charge of finding the other pieces of the White Whale. Among other things, that is. Including anything of ours left behind after a battle. Skell debris, weapons, personal effects. It can get a bit morbid, frankly, but it's gotta be done. Until we're up and running here on Mira, and have this place completely figured out. Everything we brought from Earth needs to be treated like it's irreplaceable. Also, the search for the Lifehold. That's mostly on the Reclaimers.
Next, Curators. Curators are the first to scout ahead to unexplored territory, bringing back whatever samples they can get their hands on. Fruits, bugs, sticks and stones, you name it. It's not all picking berries, though. Being a curator also means being the first to encounter unknown indigens.
Next? All right, prospectors. Prospectors do, well, prospecting. They poke around, looking for minerals, resources, and whatnot. Things we need for everyday life here. We packed all the essentials we could on the White Whale, but that won't last forever. We need to be able to replenish our water and fuel if we want to survive. And sooner or later, we're gonna have to figure out how to replace things from scratch. From the socket on a Skell's knee joint, right down to the frying pan in Lynn's kitchen. Without these guys busting their butts, we'd have no future to speak of.
Next up, Outfitters. All of our ground gear and Skell weaponry is developed in conjunction with private arms manufacturers, or AMs. Outfitters are Blade's way of supporting these AMs. They'll seek out anything that might inspire new weapon ideas, and even assist with testing new prototypes.
Finally, the Mediators. These are the folks who keep everything hunky-dory with John and Joan Q public. Any problems a civvy has, they come to Mediators. Fight with your neighbor? Mediators. Lost cat? Mediators. It's not a division for everyone. You need to be a jack of all trades, and a people person. Someone with my charming personality? Probably not the best mediator. But if you got what it takes, it's a clutch role, keeping things cool on the home front.
All right, so I think that's all 8 divisions. Any idea which one you'd like to join? Don't fret about it too much. Whichever you choose, you still have a lot of freedom in how you operate. Mediators can still get out there and mix it up, hunt indigens, whatever. And if a Harrier wants to take a break and settle an argument, that's their prerogative too. To be honest, even though it's sort of frowned upon, you can actually change your division whenever you like. So there's really no reason to stress about this. All right, you ready to choose?
So, just to and get this a bit out of the way, but
Yeah, and we're on pins and needles here.
basically, there are these 8 divisions. Really, what all they tend to do, they have some perks, as you can see. So, like HP support. I guess HP support would be your perks, and then it shows you actions that boost division points. So your division points are used online as a score, so as other people playing the game end up doing certain things, your division points get boosted, and you get rewards for what everybody online playing the game has done. The best, in my mind, and the easiest to do is Interceptors, and I'm going to pick that. The reason being is you get points for killing enemies and beating quests. It's basically the entire content of the game, essentially. things like Pathfinders, for example, you only have so many areas that you can discover, or so many data probes, versus Interceptors where, oh look, I have infinite missions that are random, basically, and I have enemies that respawn, so it's no-brainer to pick this, in my mind. Also, not only do you gain division points, but you actually level up your blade rank for doing those tasks. So you get more points for doing those tasks than, say, other like if I wasn't in that. So I'm going to do Interceptors. It's likely the easiest one, so that's why I pick it.
Then it's settled?
All right. Thank God that's over. By the power invested in me, yada yada, you're officially a Blade.
Congrats, and welcome.
I know you're gonna do great.
So that's it.
Now for the
Welcome to
job.
Blade.
Let's get down to brass tacks. Nelson's team has gone missing. Last contact we had, they were installing a data probe out in eastern Primordia. Then, nothing.
Nelson. Pathfinders, right?
Are we talking indigents here or what?
Your guess is as good as mine, but they did have a skell with them. You'd think they could hold their own, or at least run away.
Alright, we're on it. We'll head to their last known location and go from there.
Report whatever you find ASAP.
Of course. Let's move out.
Roger that.
Just an FYI, I do have a little camera icon, so I was kind of like playing with the camera. Whenever you have a cutscene in the top right, you'll see a camera icon, and you can actually use your right D-pad, right joystick to basically adjust the camera angle. So welcome to Chapter 3. So I basically just unlocked a few things. Fast travel, blade barracks. I can put Moranium into arms manufacturers to boost what they give me. I'm going to quickly change a probe here. Unfortunately, you can't see it because I'm using my D-pad. My touch screen here, but you get to pick different probes. So I've got a mining probe and a research probe. I think I can actually show that if I go to Intel here. And data probes. So you can see which probes I have. I've got 2 mining probes and 1 research probe. So research probes increase credits. Mining probes increase Moranium. Moranium is used to basically level up different things. So like arms manufacturers, I have 0 out of 6,000. So I'm going to actually put a mining probe on this. And there we go. You might not see it, but there's now a mining probe there, so I should get some extra Moranium. Now, I don't want to get started on this actual quest line for this episode, but I'm going to hit up this online thing, because now that I've picked a division, I should be able to actually go under division activity and claim some rewards. So, once again, I mentioned that this is actually one of the easiest divisions. So yesterday, this division actually was the most popular division. So now I've got a choice of like every reward that's possible. This being probably the most valuable. Skell repair coupons, or salvage tickets, which allow you to basically repair skells even after you run out of insurance. Otherwise it's super expensive. It could be up to like, it could easily be like 600,000 credits. Clearly I don't care because I don't have a skell right now. I like to get credits to start out with because you have a hard time trying to get credits when you first start, but that's pretty much it. So if I actually check the divisionogram here, you can actually see that what the scores are like. So you can actually see overall, Prospectors was up there, but Prospectors is basically the end now. And that's because once you finish beating the game, you can't really do much more for investigation. So, and you can also see who's already winning for each one. Right now it's 4th, but whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to select any online missions. Let's just gear up. and take a look at some other things that we can do. So if I jump this way, this is where there's a bunch of different things. So the arms manufacturers, as I mentioned, you can give Millennium to. You basically manage your arms manufacturers. You start out with 2, Sakuraba Industries and Granada Galactic Group. Both have certain stats on them. Basically, just equipping weapons boosts them. But if I wanted to, I could basically give them Millennium as well. I don't have Millennium, so I can't. But that's basically it. This is where I would buy equipment here. Gear and weapons. So you can buy certain things. Like I can take a look at all the skulls that are here right now. You'll notice they aren't the cheapest things. But for now, they are worth saving up for. Sell my Supreme bonus. Make some 30,000 credits for just being on the right team. Oops. And then you can also buy different weapons. So I can buy better gear. Now, I want to switch to dual guns, so I'm not really concerned right now about my gear. I'll do all that later. Let's adjust the camera.
Hey.
There's a few other things out here that get added later, but that's pretty much it. For being called Armory Alley, there really isn't much that we're going to do there right now. And it really, you're only in like the front of it for a good portion of the game. Now here's a bunch of the different quests there are right now. Gathering quests are pretty easy. The funny thing is you can actually take a look at these, and I've already got 2 out of 4 on that quest. So gathering quests are actually hilarious because you can actually toggle between what they are, and you might even have all the rewards before you even start them. So you just pretty much just start them, and then you cancel out of this, and then you already complete the quest. I'm going to... Okay. I don't have Millennium, really, so I can't really do any of these. But let's just grab some of these. Now, there is a limit to how many you can grab, that's why I'm not grabbing too many. But they're all level 1, so they'll be pretty easy to do. I'm also going to save quickly. And I know this is going to be a bit of a longer episode, but I just kind of want to show you a bit more of what there is. I don't want to actually get to the main story quest line, so...
Hey, now what?
So people with question marks here, they will have certain quests and whatnot. So, there's that. You might want to talk to them, but basically, this person here is basically looking for your help, and they're basically just wanting you to hear them out. They haven't actually posted on the board, so this is kind of one of those quests that you kind of stumble upon. So basically, she's just saying, I'm shy, you see, and I'd about worked myself up to a panic, thinking I'd have to keep approaching strangers, yada yada yada. So she basically just wants some blade team to help out. So, if I recall correctly, she's either looking for some supplies. Yes, she's looking for supplies to repair a scale that got damaged. So, I guess she just doesn't want to get in trouble. So that's why she kind of doesn't want anybody to find out. So we'll accept that as well. It's kind of more of a story quest. I could set this as my target mission. I'm not going to right now. But that's kind of how these work. So if I make my way out here, I'll also show you a few more things quickly. So there's different things on the map, so I can actually check my map right now. And it shows me all my gamepad, my survey rate for Primordia, which is this continent. You'll see at the top right. By the time, my survey rate is 1.7%, so I've seen, or I've done 1.7% of what actually needs to be done in this area. So I'm going to try to collect a few of these things, kind of show you this. These are things that I'm going to need to do, or I don't need to do, but I'm just going to do them periodically throughout the game, and that was fun. I tried to jump through him, he wouldn't let me. Whatever, so I have to kill those. I really don't feel like it right now, so let's just keep going. But I picked up some of these items, so let's go to Collectopedia here. And you can see that I can actually... There's actually, right here, there's 5 continents, and you can see which items I've actually collected. So I can actually start registering things in here and get some rewards out of it. So I get some battle points. So only the ones with stars give you rewards, as well as filling up a section, like vegetables, fruits, etc., or filling out the entire continent stuff. So I'm clearly not going to get those, but let's just get some rewards here. More battle points. And I'm not gonna skip this because there's just a few that I can do right now anyway. I don't actually have that much stuff. I haven't actually done that much exploration. But in the future, I'll probably just show you some of the rewards I get from these. It's mainly battle points, I believe, until you actually fill in rows. I could be wrong. I don't recall. You'll also see on the right-hand side, the number 2. That's just indicating... So you'll see that little logo there. That's the logo of the Interceptors. And you'll see when I do certain things, I get points. If I press start here, you'll see Blade rank 18 out of 1,000, 28 out of 1,000. As I pick up items and whatnot, basically that rank goes up. So that's essentially what that is. You need to raise that rank in order to raise your field skills. So you do want to raise that rank as soon as possible. You might want to do a bit of grinding. I'm probably going to grind after this episode, so there's that. There's a few other things, like you'll see clocks here. And you'll actually see, like, it's a new segment in Primordia discovered. Basically, when you come across certain people, they'll actually give you some details about some things. So, on my map, it actually tells me there's level 2 mechanical debris somewhere. That's kind of what she was telling me about. Basically, harvesting the debris, just reclaiming it, that all helps with your survey percent. And you actually have to do work on your survey's percent in order to progress later on. So I'm probably going to do that as well off camera. Here, there's a little clock on the map. This allows you to set the time, so you can switch between morning, night, etc. Let's go back to early morning, whatever. It's 2 hours earlier now. But that's kind of how it works. There's certain things that happen at night, certain things happen when it's rain, etc. So you might need to make use of that. So, anyway, I really am not going to progress too much more, so I think I'm going to end it there, and I'm just going to collect some things and do a bit of leveling. I'm level 5 right now. I think I want to get to between 8 and 10, so I'm going to end it right there, and if there's anything of interest that happens, I will put it at the end of the video. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Okay, so just thought I'd let you guys know that I found another probe here, so I'm going to quickly put a probe in here. And I guess let me just put a specific probe on here so I get some value out of it. I'll put a research probe on here just so I can get some credits out of it. I will be actually working on getting some better probe setups at some point, but for now, that'll be good. Anyway, I'll continue on. Alright, while doing a bit of my training, I found some enemies that are about my level, so... And they're quest related, so I guess I may as well also kill some of these. so you guys are aware that I'm actually doing some quests. Let's switch to melee. Also, I do want to try to kill as many things as possible, just so I can progress through and switch to a different class. And once again, you'll notice I'm using melee. Melee is usually faster and better than range, at least from what I can tell.
We got him. Let's move.
I don't know if I have to just kill a certain amount of these or what. So let's just quickly take a look. I have to kill 4 of them. So, anyway guys, I'll cut to when I've got all 4 killed, and you'll see that then. Okay guys, here's the last fight. Let's just quickly take this thing down. And hopefully this doesn't take too long. I'm only halfway through level 6, so I am about halfway through level 5 though on my level specific on my current class, so as soon as I can finish leveling up that class, I can actually switch to a better set. Also, if I hit the plus, aka start button, I can actually say, I can basically command my party as well. So that is just worth noting because that becomes valuable later on. Anyway, I just finished my first quest and just got some rewards.
We got him. Let's move.
I think it was basically just experience and money, but we can take a look and see if there's any gear that I got as well. And there we go. Okay. Now, if I don't see anything else, that'll be it. But if I see something new in my leveling adventure, I will cut back to it. Okay, just note that I found another probe here, so I'm just going to quickly claim that. And I guess I'll put another probe on it. Mining probe. That's all my probes, so they do chain if I have them in the same area, but they really aren't, so you'll end up seeing that later on, hopefully. But anyway, back to leveling. Okay, guys, just grabbing yet another one of these Frontier Nav probes. Just noting that just because there are, just because you're in an area doesn't mean that all the enemies are around your level. So these are level 18, but you'll notice a level 92 that will attack on sight. So you guys might want to be careful if you're playing this game. I'm also going to quickly put a probe on here. I found one in a car somewhere. So a bunch of the stuff that you can salvage, I salvaged a car and it gave me a probe. So only the mechanical things will actually give you mechanical items. So it is worth noting that if you're low on probes, though, you might want to look around and see what you can find. Anyway, I'll be back when I hit level 8. I'm pretty close anyway, so it shouldn't take me too long now. Okay, guys, it is worth noting that when you die, you have there's 30-second window for the rest of your party to actually kill the enemy that you're attacking. And if that runs out, basically, it's the equivalent of you to actually hitting return, which will basically just spawn you at your last probe. So you don't get any of the loot from attacking anything, but you keep all your experience. You don't really have too much negative stuff when you die. Anyway, this is probably going to be this second last or last fight if I can actually finish these guys off, so see you when I'm done. And there we go.
Nice work.
Level 8. And class up. I've actually almost leveled up my blade rank as well. So let's just head back to the in LA to the Blade Barracks. Via warp, of course, because warping is a lot easier to do and a lot more fun. And I'll quickly show you all the Collectopedia stuff that I've completed, and then we'll finish it off there. Anyway, guys, it's been fun, so I'll see you next time. Take care.